My former friend Trouble was clearly so focused on expressing her truth that she didn't give one flying fuck if she hurt me in the process. Me, who she touted herself as being such a good, kind, caring friend to me. She didn't give one flying fuck about my feelings. And some of you may recall that not too long ago, when Stoney and others, pretty much Stoney and false alarmist were Stoney particularly, because I never paid attention to false alarmist, insisting that I was a horrible singer. And I said if, but the fact that I would even say if showed you how Trouble was repeatedly making me feel, and I was swallowing it down. But I'm not gonna swallow down her talking shit about me and replying back to a horrible comment that my known enemy had directed, at her about me. No, I'm not gonna fucking swallow that down. But anyway, what did I say? I said if. We were talking about my singing, okay? And I have had people praise my singing voice over the years, even total strangers, okay? But regardless, if you're a friend, sometimes you just keep your fucking mouth shut. So I'd seen Trouble repeatedly. She just always has to nitpick and you build your friends up. You don't constantly tear them down. And that's what she would do to me, all in the name of her truth, So I said, I was giving an example. I said, even if my friend, like say Trouble, suddenly decided it was her duty in life to convince me that I was a horrible singer, I would say fuck you to her too, You don't do that to your friends. And I was just saying if, but obviously it was in the back of my mind that that's something she might possibly do. And just enrage me in the process. And I would be justifiably enraged because you don't do that to your fucking friends. You don't. Sometimes you just keep your mouth shut. Sometimes, and people have to make their own mistakes. And even when it comes to big dreams, I can use a fictional example. You guys know I love the Big Bang Theory. Penny, if anybody tried to just, say to Penny, because she tried to be an actress for 10 whole years. She tried to become famous in Hollywood. And it didn't work out. But she had to make that final decision to stop trying. If anyone tried to force her, she would have resented that person. And who would have any power to stop her? Try to convince her, what's wrong with you, blah, blah, blah. It would be her friends or her family or something like that, okay? When you're a friend to someone, you don't always have to speak the fucking truth regarding every fucking goddamn little aspect of their existence. Sometimes you just keep your mouth shut, okay? And sometimes even my friends, even my good friends like Selena, don't know best when it comes to me and my life, or they might think they know best, but they're missing pieces that are important. And I've gotten very frustrated with Selena over that in the past, as you guys know, when she's missing important pieces, okay? Like the very recent time when she's just won't let it drop. She was insisting that my mom shouldn't have Angel back. That was annoying me to no end. And then prior to that, when she was telling me not seeing the bigger picture, where saying I should get involved and find out about my mom's new boyfriend or whatnot, his illness, when that's not my place to do that, number one. And number two, that's exactly the type of shit that she was complaining about to Selena. She wants to live her own life. And, and doesn't want, she'd be like, so I felt like Selena wasn't dropping it and pushing me too much on that, okay? But Selena and I are real friends, and we can talk on the phone, and we can hash it out, and, I've apologized to her in the past, and she's apologized to me. But never has she made me feel the way Trouble has repeatedly made me feel over the years, you know. Because Selena wouldn't do shit like telling me that my response, you know, lack of relevance and rational thought alert. Go have some, no. She tells me and tells my enemy that I don't want to have open communication back and forth, whatever, but she's in the act of saying stuff like telling me anything that I say in reply is irrational or not relevant to her comment or whatnot. She's closing off communication. She's doing exactly what she accuses me of doing. She just wants her comment to stand on its own, me not to reply, or she just wants to dictate how I reply, you know. To her, everything's a rant, and she just, oh, I see right through it now, like I said. I put up with it, but not this final thing in the act of replying back to my enemy who would talk such horrible shit about me. And any of you can see it in any of the recent comments if you bother reading the description I've described in detail, okay? I even put her comment to his comment. And remember, his comment was not the first of its kind, not that would matter. It was the 500th of its kind, okay? And she knew it. There's no way she didn't. She follows me too closely to not have known what he's posted about me, the horrible things that I've allowed to post. She wrote back to him. That's not the act of a friend. Period. 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 Okay? It's not. Not the act of a friend. Not even remotely. She can convince herself of all she wants, of how horrible I am or whatnot. What she did was not an act of a friend, period. Period. And nobody on this planet would ever convince me of anything to the contrary. Ever. Ever. I was supposed to get a storm this morning. They said snow. It sounds like it's pouring outside. It doesn't sound like snow, but who knows if it'll change to snow or just be rain tomorrow morning too. My mom's church friend was so nice. She knew that there might be a storm and there might not be church, and she knew instinctively, I guess, she remembered we needed water, because I was saying, God, Mom, we're running really low on water. I hope she's able to, I hope she could go to church tomorrow or something, because I don't know. And she came over here without us even calling her. She came over here and I guess she tried to call to see and couldn't reach my mom or something. I don't know. My phone, I didn't put money on it, so. Because technically I don't really need a phone. I can talk to Selena or Joe on my mama's phone. My mom has unlimited minutes, so I mean I can talk on and I talk to Joe on my home phone anyway. On the home phone I can talk, you know. I don't talk to Selena on the home phone. In the beginning, I didn't want her to know, you know, I don't trust anybody, and I don't know her address. I don't know where she lives, but my mom told her our address, so it kind of defeats the purpose. But I also don't want her to accidentally be calling me on this phone. You can't leave messages. I didn't set up the message thing, and I'd rather just have my cell phone number. But I don't really need a cell phone unless I start talking to personal ad guys. And Selena was expressing concern even over this, you know, regular phone, like you'd think of being, say, T-Mobile or AT&T or Verizon or Sprint or whatnot, thinking that the guys could track me. She was thinking the only phone that's 100% safe would be like a track phone, you know, where they don't take down your info, I guess. Yeah, because they don't have to bill you for anything. They just, I don't know. Anyway, church was so nice. She came over here, and my mom went and got water just in case there was no. This was last night. It was just in case there was no church today. I fell asleep on the couch with my glasses, but when I'm on the couch, I can't really move into my side, so I'm only sleeping on my back, so it's not that bad. It's not as bad as if I fall asleep with my glasses on watching one of my videos from this bed and over there and have my glasses on, because then I'm in my bed and I can be rolling around and whatever, and that wouldn't be good. But on the couch, I'm not getting real sleep, and the TV was on, and stand-up comedy was on. Last night I watched Trainwreck again on HBO. I'd seen it in the movies with my mama. She chose to go to bed instead of watching it. It's cute. Watched it again. Her boyfriend and then she becomes boyfriend. They are so different. She drinks, she does drugs, she's a total slut, and he's the complete opposite, yet they fall for each other. Because despite her flaws underneath, she's actually a good fucking person. I found out why my mama making myself sleepy. Oh, my mom loved the Iron Giant. It was really cute. She actually cried. I did not cry. I said, "You cried over the cartoon?" She's like, "Yeah." Probably because she's not on so many segments anymore, because we watched something in the theater, and I can't tell you what it was. I do not remember. But I was crying. I had tears streaming down my face, and this was back when she was on a shitload of meds, and I was shocked that she didn't cry. I said, "Did you cry?" And she's like, "No." And yet she cried over the cartoon. Sweet, huh? She cried over the cartoon. I'm sure in my life I've cried over the cartoons too, occasionally. I don't remember the circumstances, but the fact is, I did not know. It was a sweet movie, but I did not cry, no. And that doesn't mean my mom's more sensitive than I am either, because I cried over a movie that was real people and she didn't cry, so I forget what was, like I said, I forget what movie it was, but I know I asked her because I was crying, and I don't remember what movie it was. The life of me, I don't remember. But in any case, she loved the movie, and that's the whole point. I got it for her. I actually enjoyed it. I watched it, part of it, Friday night, but I didn't see the whole thing. I was kind of lying on the couch and fading in and out and watching part of the movie and not. Whereas yesterday afternoon, it wasn't even nighttime, my mom and I watched The Iron Giant, and it was cute. It certainly had a good fucking message. It was worth watching. I liked it. But no, I did not cry. Was I touched by the ending? Yes. But not, obviously tears did not helplessly fall down my face. And that my mom cried. So, which only proves to me that now that she's not on so many meds, she's not so, like, it's such fucking chemical restraint. That's what those medications are designed to do. Speaking of that, I have something important to tell you guys. Remember, I was upset, understandably so, goes and sees her primary care physician and doesn't utter a peep about how, and by the way, she is still coughing. Doesn't utter a peep. I guess so was Auntie. Auntie's been sick. Auntie was sick when we picked up my mom. Auntie was sick before that, and Auntie's still sick. Not horribly sick, just lingering on. And I am, as usual, I mean, I'm severely depressed, but food-wise, I must be doing something right. I don't know, because I haven't gotten sick. It's tried. I told you I cough up phlegm once in a while, but just nothing. It's my immune system is strong enough to fight it, apparently, even though my immune system is constantly battling feelings of depression and anxiety and whatnot. So I found out what happened. How did I find that out, you might ask? Well, let me tell you. I found that out because my mom, when the foster woman came to get Angel, but then she gets to, I discussed it with my mom, and I said, Mom, when you go to that place, I think it'd be really nice to let Angel's father, let Susan take Angel for the night, providing she's not busy, Sometimes my mom goes to that place once a week, sometimes twice a week. She goes different times, different days, So I made it an open thing. I suggested it to my mom. Just like her friend, church woman, called her the other night. I forget what night it was. And asked her if she wanted to go out to eat and go see that Miracles from Heaven. I could hear her on the phone. No, I don't think Laura's going to want it. And she didn't. Plus, even if I had wanted to see that movie, which I really didn't, it wasn't just going to see the movie. It was also going out to eat. And it was last minute. She was going to be there in an hour. I don't do last minute very well. I like to know ahead of time, I'd already been eating stuff. Nothing major, but enough to fill me up. And I don't like last minute. But my mom was all excited and thrilled. And I'm like, that's great. And I said, Mama, she spent this last Sunday all fucking day long putting up those curtains in the living room because there were problems. They bought one package, and she ironed them. She went and ironed them and found out that there were little flaws in them and returned them, and then returned them again. And then the rods they had bought at a regular place, like a hardware store, didn't have the middle screw. I mean, it was just ridiculous. I thought, I periodically was hearing the dogs, as I told you guys in another video, on Sunday, and I didn't understand, because I'm like, I have to have been sleeping all the time. Shouldn't she be long gone? And I got up and she was still here, and that was why she'd spent all day doing that. And she does so many other nice things for both of us. I said to my mom, it would be really nice if you paid for her movie. My mom wouldn't think to do something like that, so I suggest things like that. It's not because my mom's a bitch or selfish or cheap. She just doesn't think of doing things like that, so I suggested it. I said, wouldn't that be nice to pay for her movie? And my mom was like, yeah. Just like I suggested that because Angel's foster parents love Angel so much, and because the foster woman, she's a part of our lives, and she loves Angel, and we have no way of easily getting Angel to the vets for my dog Omar, and she's just really nice, so I suggested that too. My mom wouldn't have thought of that. I suggested that but I wanted to make sure it was okay with my mom. I said, you know, even if she takes her for 2 days, you still have her for 5, don't you think? I said, what would you think of that? Because when the weather gets warmer, I will be, you know, gone more from here, and it'd be much better. I mean, even though technically Angel doesn't have to go into the bathroom if I'm gone all day, and so is my mom, it's not fair to put Homer in the bathroom while Angel gets to run free, you know. And I said, if we're both gone for the day, I mean, Angel will be much happier and better off hanging out with her. But basically, I'm also just thinking of the foster woman, and funny because Selena wrote it before I even said it, you know. But I did have to get a little testy with Selena because she was not seeing the whole picture, and she was insisting that it's better, that Angel's better off with not living with my mom and having my mom still pay and whatever. And Selena was pissing me off, you know. Friends piss each other off sometimes. Like I said, when it came to trouble, I took the bad with the good, but not this latest thing, because everything else built up to this, where she made it perfectly clear how little she really thought of me. She thinks nothing of replying back to that horrible comment my known enemy had written, directed at her, saying horrible things about me as usual, and she replied back to him and talked shit about me. So that spoke volumes about how she really feels about me. And that's not a friend, period. It's not. It's not. I was taking a page from Selena's book because she started it, you know, and with her because she's protecting me, you know. You piss Selena off and she's gonna really say, she's gonna rip into you, and Selena's protecting me. But really, I'm just hurt. I might say to Trouble, you know, go do this or go, you know. Selena's saying, oh, she's probably, based on other things, she's really uptight or repressed or sad or whatever. I'm just plain hurt. I ripped into Trouble out of just bewilderment and anger and whatnot. But the bottom line is I'm just plain hurt. So anyway, back to my mom. I found out why she was so nervous with her doctor and didn't tell him that she'd had this, you know, this lingering cough and cold and whatnot for all these weeks. He, according to her, was asking barrage and like just bombarding her with questions. And according to her, what she sensed, and I believe it, concern over her being just on this one medication. I told you, in that world, and he's not even a fucking psychiatrist, but it doesn't matter. To them, it's like more and more and more meds. You know, that whole they're brainwashed by big pharma and it's radical. But like the woman who takes care of Angel was saying, you know, it's not like when your mom was on these 3 different fucking segments, all these different segments, and cogen for side effects and this, that, or whatever. She was remaining well for a long time. She was getting sick sometimes in 7 months, sometimes in, you know, so why not try this one medication? You know, and pray that it works out okay, because if it doesn't, you know damn well they're going to put her on a whole bunch again and destroy her spirit in the process, because she's thrilled to death. And I can imagine how I'm like, but you know, he cares about you. And I know, Laura, but he was just asking me question after question. He made me feel like he wasn't happy that I'm just on this one, just cyprexicitis and nothing else. Because for years I've been on all different things, and that's what their mentality is, all these doctors or whatnot. And I know, Mom, but in the end it is up to you. You realize that, because I'm still terrified. My mom experienced this with her primary care physician. What do you think's going to happen when she goes see her regular psychiatrist? You know? They don't like it. I didn't think her primary care physician would react that way, but her psychiatrist, yeah. I warned the doctor in that hospital. I said, you know, this is wonderful, you did this, but I have a bad feeling that my mom's outside psychiatrist is not going to be none too pleased about this, because she didn't even want my mom to lower her Depakote from $1,500 to $1,000, and my mom's primary care physician had to put his foot down. My mom that was too much medication. She was having nosebleeds, and she was, you know, she shouldn't have been on that much Depakote to begin. By the way, when it comes to trouble, you have to understand, too, people, that this wasn't just a YouTube friendship email. I shared things with her that I did not share with you guys, with the world at large, you know? So her betrayal hurts even more, because she knew more than about me, and she just, Selena saw it instantly. It's like every little fucking thing. Trouble wouldn't cut me any slack. She even wanted to dictate how I responded. She would even call my responses irrational and irrelevant and all that. That's so fucking rude. I never did that to her. I can't believe it. False Alarmist wrote to her again, you know. Remember, I don't read any of his comments. I have not. I stopped completely. Why should I? And why should I? Why should I keep just reading all that negativity towards me when I'm in a bad enough place in my head, you know? I'm not any obligation. I stopped reading them. I stopped approving them weeks ago. But I could still, he wrote to her recently. I doubt she even gives a flying fuck what she did to me. She, like I said, she could sit there on her high horse, and I know nothing about her life. You know? Sit there and endlessly judge me and nitpick over every little thing, and I know nothing about her life. My mom had a difficult time it took a long time. She had to wait to get an appointment with her psychiatrist, so she still hasn't seen her. I'm sure my mom's afraid. Like I said, for all these years, it's always the case where they think she should be on a lot more different, various medications. And again, it's all this doctor in this particular hospital. My mom got lucky. Sherrod said to me, you know, I don't believe in giving more than one antipsychotic to a patient. I believe it's better just to give them something you know they're going to be compliant with taking. And that's her mentality, but it hasn't been any. I said, you know what? I want to kiss your feet. I said, thank you so much, but you are the first since 2009, okay? You're the first psychiatrist to feel that way. Who knows how it'll work out? My mom and I have been getting along a lot better, but it's only my real fucking enemies that just who would ever blame me for my mom having breakdowns. But regardless, we've been getting along better. And she loves just taking the the one medication. I don't monitor it. I don't monitor it, but I can check the bottle of pills. Remember when she had to take so many, 5 different medications, they were all set up in the pill thing, and now it's just the Zydus and the cholesterol. I mean, the high blood pressure medication. I'm assuming she's remembering taking it, although I should probably. I do say, did you take your medication? But I don't say it every day. She's like, yeah. And I also, did you take your probiotic? Did you take your vitamins? Yeah. I gently suggested to her because she would forget, and it's silly, and the things I tell her to do, I follow myself, I do it too. I said, since you have to take your probiotic with food, and then when she thought of Anastaxin, but you had to take the Anastaxin with food, and you can't always remember if you've taken them or not. Why not always take them at breakfast time, Mom? Just like I always take mine when I wake up. Because otherwise, if you wait to the middle, you won't remember whether or not you've taken them. If you just always are consistently taking at breakfast, that'll work out a lot better. These are suggestions. It's like I suggest that instead of eating the same thing, I her granolas, even though it's organic, it's not that healthy. It's just granola, and there's all kinds of better things that she can eat. Variety, yogurt and fruit and nuts, and I do get on her case about drinking water because I know how important it is to drink water. And I know that because I learned that at her age, she loses her sense of thirst and forgets to drink water. But she and I, for the most part, you can't get along completely with anyone you live with. It's impossible, be it a roommate or a roommate who's also your significant other. It's impossible. But we have been getting along better. I made delicious spinach, mushroom, and avocado dish. Sauteed in just a little bit of coconut oil last night because we used the new pan, and the new pan doesn't need much oil, and it's getting rid of the old pans that are non-stick, that have lost their non-stick, and they're going bye-bye. Bye-bye, said the one pan, until we buy a whole nice set of pans. This pan is a for now pan. No one would still want that kind of pan anyway, even if we bought the kind of cookware you have, which is, I don't know, all glad, I think. Because it's nice to have them. Maybe we won't even buy the all glad, I don't know. I do want to get a new pan set, and we won't invest in cookware, though. Certainly. That's what's been going on. My mom, I don't know, I did get upset one because it was mind-blowing to me. You've been sick for weeks. Your doctor says, how you doing? You don't tell him that you've been sick for weeks. It doesn't make any sense. You just have me right there in front of him. But he was making her really nervous, and now I know she hadn't told me that. She just said he made me nervous, asking me this, that, whatever, but she actually said, she was saying more to the Angel's foster mom, and I was sitting there, and then I'm like, did he make you feel like was he concerned that you were on that one medication? She's like, I think so. I go, oh, fuck. Wasn't expecting that. I was expecting it from your psychiatrist, not from your regular doctor, Mama. It only goes to show you. the mentality, huh? It goes without saying how fucking thrilled my mom is just to take the one medication in the fucking morning, and that's it. That's definitely not snow. Definitely not snow. I don't know what it's doing outside. Maybe it's sleet, which would make the roads treacherous. And so my mom will find out. Her friend will call and say whether or not there's church. Probably is. You know, people are super religious, understandably don't want to miss church unless it's absolutely necessary. My mom didn't love that. I said, did you love that movie, Miracles from Outer Snows? I really liked it. It's certainly fascinating what happened to the little girl. That doesn't mean I believe she went to heaven. But again, just as I've been prone to say about various things, there's no way to prove it either way. I can neither prove nor disprove that she went to heaven. But the fact that she was suddenly cured of whatever, and that's a miracle, so that's kind of fascinating to me. But I wasn't going to do the whole 9 yards, going out to eat and going to see this movie with, you know what I mean? I don't want to see it with sorry, but I don't want to see it with but I would maybe watch the movie if it came on HBO or on TV, and I could just watch it privately and not have to, you know the deal. My mom did go out with her friend and have a good time anyway. My mom doesn't think, say what you will about me. Of course, false alarm is going to say bullshit like, you do nothing for anybody. You expect everyone to do everything for you. That's not true. I do things for people. Everything doesn't revolve around money. You know, you could be poor and still do other things for people and be, just the simple fact that I told my mom she should, pay for her friend's movies, which was so nice. But my mom would think to do that. I know she would never find a million years to do that, but it's a nice thing to do. The woman went above and beyond. She should have just gone home after she was having so many troubles with the current and postponed it. No, she just stayed there all freaking day. Unbelievable. Or not the complete day. They went to church that morning, but you know what I mean. She was here till like 7 o'clock at night. She was here for hours. I had to travel back and forth, and that's her time and her gas, and so I definitely. But again, my mom doesn't think of things like that, and it isn't because she's cheap or whatever. She just doesn't think that way. Just like I often hear her asking people stuff and she doesn't say please and thank you, and I always, I'm cognizant of stuff like that. Really, really being appreciative of anybody, helping me or whatnot, doing things for me. My mom's not always that way, but that's probably attributed to a lot of things, including her illness. I told my mom to give Omar to me when she leaves for church. I bet you anything he didn't go poo-poo outside. In the pouring rain, I can hear it. It's not snow. Even if we don't get snow, I highly doubt that we're wrong about the high winds. We're supposed to get high winds. And that's just to last throughout the day. I don't know. Like I was saying, I was talking to the woman in the grocery store, cashiers or whatever, how we're gonna get bad weather, but I'm not gonna complain. The mild winter we had, we have no right to complain about anything. So what? If we're having some winter weather in the spring, we can't complain that we had just the most unbelievably mild winter. So we can't complain about the latest storm. It'd be nice when it finally is spring for good, Yeah, there's plenty of real life examples. It's a given. There's tons of people, but you have to, if you don't believe in yourself, then you don't have a chance in hell of making any of your big dreams come true. But this world is filled with people who believed in themselves to high heavens and it just didn't work out, They were not able to materialize their dreams and they had to let them go. Penny's a fictional example, Penny's a fictional example. She finally quit trying to be a famous actress. She quit acting. She was good, just not good enough because it's really difficult, Just like anything. There are more people that are trying to achieve that than are ever going to be able to. That's all. That's all. But you're not a fool to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, you'll never succeed. You'll never even have a chance. That's not rocket science. So glad I don't read those comments that would endlessly just... Remember, he doesn't write them once in a while, people. He'll write 20 at a time, and I was reading them all. There's probably like 700 in the false alarmist folder by now. I don't know how many there are, but they're odd. And they're all, of course, negative. And why should I read them? Should I? I don't have to. I don't understand why he continues to post them. That's kind of obsessive. I can understand if he posts reply comments that he knows, even though I won't publicly approve the comment, I'm not going to read it. Whoever he's writing to will read it. They'll get it instantly. But But he doesn't just do replies. I can see whether or not it's a reply. He just is continuing to post these comments and post them even though he knows that I'm not reading them and not approving them. It doesn't make sense. It's like, I cannot imagine hating somebody that much. He claims he doesn't hate me. I don't even know you. I don't hate you. Yeah, but you're what they call a hater, because you are just, I can't imagine being that way towards anybody. Even if you don't literally hate me, it's just what people say. You're a hater, you know. Anybody who tries to do anything that's outside the norm of anything in the entertainment field, even if it's not professional or whatnot, like YouTube is not, you know, professional for most people, including me, are going to have haters. It's just a given. You'd think he would stop wasting his effort by now, false alarmist, when I'm not. I'm clearly, he can see I'm not publicly posting any of his comments, and I'm no longer reading any of his comments. See, before I would read them all, even though I would only post certain ones publicly. Now I'm not reading them. I have not read a single comment by false alarmist in weeks, okay? And I don't intend to read them ever again. They all say the same thing over and over, just ripping me apart and, you know, trying to convince me that I'm the most horrible person in the world and talentless and ugly and everything else. He can go fuck himself. Oh, and of course, the worst daughter ever. We have to make sure we point that out, because he made sure to point that out to Trouble, and she just, like I said, just replies back to him, and it doesn't matter what he, in her, it doesn't matter what he said, horrible things he said about me. No, it's not a friend. She's not a friend, period. She never was. She was phony. She could not possibly, after all these years, have done what she did, and she was never a friend to begin with. She just wanted to view herself as a good, kind person for being friends with the likes of someone like me. It's all. I see it clearly, and so do my real friends. I see it so clearly now. I'm going to end this, and I'm going to ask my mama what it's doing outside, and if Omar, I can guarantee he didn't go poo-poo in the barn, right? If she goes to church, he'll come in here with me. Angel will stay out there. Omar's safer. I worry about him getting... You think there's nothing he can get into, but you just never know. And you just have to... You can't predict everything, because the other day I said, see, Mom, look at this chair is out. Omar will jump up on this chair and get into stuff on the table or whatnot. You just have to... He's like a puppy. And I protect him. He's like a puppy. Find out what's going on with my mama. Mm-hmm. Can you guys hear that? Oh, church woman doesn't think we're going to begin. When I said, you know, would you believe it's get snow tomorrow morning and Monday morning? She's like, yeah, I'll believe when I see it. She scoffed. She's like, we'll see. You know, she doesn't believe it's going to happen. You know, I don't know. We'll see. He's right. We'll see. Oh, Angel's urine came back and was, thank God, was no freaking bacteria at this time. Those antibiotics were huge, plus pills, and she had them twice a day, and they were big pills. Number one, and number two, she shouldn't, you know, you don't want to have her. She was just on 3 whole weeks of antibiotics. You don't want to do